you're chasing the wrong thing. Most people spend their entire lives pursuing happiness like it's some destination they'll arrive at once they get the right job, the right relationship, the right amount of money. But here's what the Stoics figured out 2,000 years ago. Happiness isn't something you find. It's something you build, daily, through specific principles that don't change whether you're rich or poor, young or old, successful or struggling. Today, I'm giving you 5 non-negotiable truths about living a genuinely happy life. Not the fake Instagram version. The real kind. The kind that lasts when things go wrong. These aren't opinions. They're principles tested across centuries by people who actually achieved what you're looking for. Let's begin. Hashtag Principle 1. Happiness is internal, not external. Listen carefully because this is the foundation everything else builds on. You will never, ever be happy if your happiness depends on external circumstances. Never. Marcus Aurelius was the emperor of Rome. He had absolute power, unlimited wealth, and control over half the known world. And you know what he wrote in his journal? Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Think about that. The most powerful man alive saying happiness has nothing to do with power. Here's why this matters. External circumstances are constantly changing. You get the promotion, the feeling fades in weeks. You buy the car, the excitement dies in months. You start the relationship, the honeymoon phase ends. This isn't pessimism. This is reality. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation. You adapt to whatever you get and then you want more. It's a treadmill that never stops. You're running and never actually getting anywhere. So what's the alternative? You make your happiness internal. You base it on things that can't be taken from you. Your character, your discipline, your principles, your responses to life. Nobody can take those away. Your boss can fire you, but he can't take your integrity. The economy can crash, but it can't crash your gratitude. Your relationship can end, but it can't end your ability to find meaning. This is the difference between fragile happiness and robust happiness. Fragile happiness says, I'll be happy when I get that thing. Robust happiness says, I'm building a life where I can be content regardless of what happens. Now, does this mean you shouldn't have goals? Absolutely not. Pursue your goals. Work hard. Build wealth. Create success. But don't make your happiness conditional on achieving them. Epictetus put it perfectly. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. Control what you can. Accept what you can't. Find your peace in that distinction. That's where happiness lives. Not in the future when everything's perfect. Right here, right now. In your ability to choose your perspective regardless of your circumstances. Hashtag Principle 2. Gratitude is the shortcut to happiness. Here's a hard truth. You're probably not unhappy because your life is bad. You're unhappy because you're focused on what you don't have instead of what you do. The Stoics practiced something radical. They called it negative visualization. Every day they'd imagine losing everything they valued. Their health, their family, their possessions, their freedom. Sounds depressing, right? It's the opposite. Because when you regularly imagine loss, you stop taking things for granted. You look at your life and realize, I already have everything I need to be happy right now. You have food? Billions don't. You have shelter? Millions are sleeping on streets tonight. You have your health? Someone in a hospital right now would trade everything they own for what you have. You have people who care about you? Someone died alone yesterday. This isn't about feeling guilty. It's about perspective. See, your brain is wired to focus on problems. It's a survival mechanism. Thousands of years ago, the humans who noticed threats survived. The ones who sat around feeling grateful got eaten by tigers. But you don't live in that world anymore. So your brain is still scanning for problems, for threats, for what's wrong. And it finds them, because that's what it's designed to do. Gratitude is how you reprogram that. You consciously, deliberately focus on what's right instead of what's wrong. Not because you're ignoring reality, because you're seeing the complete reality instead of just the negative half. Here's how you practice this. Every morning, write down 3 specific things you're grateful for. Not vague things like, my family. Specific things. I'm grateful my daughter laughed at breakfast. I'm grateful I woke up without pain. I'm grateful I have hot water. Why specific? Because it forces your brain to pay attention, to actually see what you have instead of glossing over it. Do this for 30 days and your entire life changes. Not because your circumstances changed, because you started noticing what was already there. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius did this every single day. And he had every reason to be miserable. Constant wars, betrayals, a plague killing millions. His own son turning out to be a terrible person. But he practiced gratitude anyway. And it made him one of the most admired humans in history. You don't need perfect circumstances to be grateful. You just need to pay attention to what you already have. That's the shortcut to happiness. It's always been right in front of you. You just weren't looking. ## Principle 3. Purpose matters more than pleasure. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Pleasure doesn't make you happy. I know that sounds wrong, but think about it. The happiest moments of your life probably weren't when you were comfortable and entertained. They were when you were challenged, when you accomplished something difficult, when you helped someone, when you pushed through and came out the other side. The Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." But he also wrote, "A life without purpose is a languid, drifting thing." Here's the paradox. Chasing pleasure makes you miserable. Pursuing purpose makes you happy. Why? Because pleasure is temporary. Feels good for a moment, then it's gone and you need more. It's junk food for your soul. Quick hit, no nutrition, leaves you emptier than before. Purpose is different. Purpose gives you something to wake up for. Something to organize your life around. Something that makes the hard days worth it. Viktor Frankl survived Nazi concentration camps by finding purpose in his suffering. He wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." He watched people who had everything to live for give up and die. And he watched people who had nothing survive because they had a reason. Purpose is stronger than circumstances. So here's the question you need to answer. What are you building your life around? Most people are building their lives around comfort, around avoiding discomfort, around weekends and vacations and retirement. And they wonder why they're miserable Monday through Friday. Because humans aren't designed for comfort. We're designed for purpose, for challenge, for growth, for contribution. You need something bigger than yourself. Maybe it's raising kids who will make the world better. Maybe it's building a business that solves real problems. Maybe it's creating art that moves people. Maybe it's helping your community. I don't know what your purpose is, but I know you need one. Because without purpose, everything feels empty. With purpose, everything has meaning. Even the hard parts, especially the hard parts. When you're pursuing purpose, the challenges don't break you. They build you. They're part of the story. Part of what makes the achievement meaningful. Pleasure can't give you that. Pleasure is cotton candy. Purpose is protein. One disappears the moment you consume it. The other builds something that lasts. So stop optimizing for comfort and start optimizing for meaning. Find something worth suffering for, and then suffer for it gladly. That's where happiness lives. ## Principle 4. You become who you surround yourself with. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. The Stoics were obsessed with this idea. Seneca wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." This isn't motivational fluff. This is psychological reality. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Their attitudes become your attitudes. Their habits become your habits. Their standards become your standards. You can't be around complainers without becoming more negative. You can't be around lazy people without becoming less disciplined. You can't be around pessimists without losing your hope. It's not because you're weak. It's because you're human. Humans are social creatures. We unconsciously mirror the people around us. That's how we evolved. That's how we survived. By fitting into the group. But here's the problem. Fitting into the wrong group destroys you. If your group standard is mediocrity, you'll be mediocre. If your group standard is excellence, you'll be excellent. This is why Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to be careful who he spent time with. Even as emperor, surrounded by yes-men and flatterers, he knew the people around him would shape him. So he deliberately sought out philosophers and wise counsel. People who would tell him the truth. People who would challenge him to be better. You need to do the same thing. Look at your current circle. Are these people making you better or worse? Are they supportive or toxic? Growing or stagnant? Honest or fake? Disciplined or self-destructive? This isn't about being judgmental. This is about being honest. Because here's the hard truth. You might need to distance yourself from some people. Maybe even people you've known for years. Not because they're bad people. Because they're going in a different direction than you. And that's okay. People grow apart. It's natural. What's not okay is staying in relationships that drag you down out of guilt or obligation or fear of being alone. Better to be alone and growing than surrounded and dying slowly. Now, the flip side. Actively seek out people who are ahead of you. People who have what you want. People who will raise your standards just by being around them. Find mentors. Join communities. Build friendships with people who inspire you. Not to use them, to grow with them. Because when you surround yourself with excellence, you can't help but rise to meet it. Your happiness is directly connected to the quality of your relationships. Not the quantity, the quality. 5 deep friendships with the right people will change your life more than 500 shallow connections with the wrong people. Choose wisely. Your future self is watching. ## Principle 5. Discipline equals freedom. Here's the final principle, and it's the one most people get backwards. You think freedom is doing whatever you want whenever you want. No rules. No structure. No discipline. That's not freedom. That's slavery. Slavery to your impulses, to your moods, to your weaknesses. Real freedom comes from discipline, from self-control, from doing what you need to do whether you feel like it or not. Epictetus was a slave who became a philosopher. He understood freedom better than anyone. He said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about what that means. If you can't control your anger, you're a slave to your anger. If you can't control your cravings, you're a slave to your cravings. If you can't control your phone addiction, you're a slave to your phone. You're not free. You're controlled by forces you refuse to master. Discipline is how you break those chains. When you build discipline, you build the ability to choose your actions instead of being controlled by your feelings. You don't feel like working out? Discipline gets you to the gym anyway. You feel like scrolling social media? Discipline puts the phone down and opens the book. You feel like quitting? Discipline keeps you going one more day. That's freedom. The freedom to choose your destiny instead of being carried by the current. And here's what nobody tells you. Discipline makes you happier. Not in the moment. In the moment, discipline is hard. It's choosing the difficult thing. But long-term, discipline gives you the life you actually want instead of the life your impulses create. Discipline gives you the body you want instead of the body your cravings create. Discipline gives you the career you want instead of the career your laziness creates. Discipline gives you the relationships you want instead of the relationships your weakness creates. Every single thing you want in life is on the other side of discipline. And every single day you skip discipline, you're choosing a life you don't want. The Stoics knew this. That's why they practiced voluntary discomfort, cold baths, sleeping on the floor, fasting, hard physical training. Not because they enjoyed suffering, because they were training their discipline muscle, so they'd have it when they needed it, when life got hard, when temptation was strong, when quitting looked easier than continuing. You need to do the same. Start small. Pick one area where you lack discipline and build it. Wake up at the same time every day. Exercise daily. Read for 30 minutes. Journal. Meditate. Whatever. Just pick one thing and do it every single day for 30 days. Not when you feel like it. Every single day. That's how you build the discipline that gives you freedom. And when you have that freedom, that's when you can actually be happy. Because you're not constantly disappointed in yourself. You're not constantly controlled by your weaknesses. You're not constantly falling short of who you know you could be. You're becoming who you're meant to be. And that process, that's happiness. So there you have it. 5 principles for a happy life. 1. Happiness is internal, not external. 2. Gratitude is the shortcut to happiness. 3. Purpose matters more than pleasure. 4. You become who you surround yourself with. 5. Discipline equals freedom. These aren't complicated, but they're not easy either. The truth is, most people won't apply these. They'll watch this video, nod along, maybe feel inspired for an hour, and then go right back to their old patterns. Don't be most people. Pick one principle, just one, and implement it today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because happiness isn't something that happens to you. It's something you build. One decision at a time. One day at a time. One principle at a time. The Stoics understood this. They didn't wait for perfect circumstances to be happy. They built happiness regardless of circumstances. You can do the same. You have everything you need right now. You just need to use it. So start today. Build your happiness. One principle at a time. Your future self will thank you. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom that actually works. Comment below, which of these 5 principles resonated most with you? I read every comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay strong, stay disciplined, stay happy.